one, good afternoon, good evening, and good night. Welcome back to Abstract Medicine. I hope you're all doing well. Thank you so much for joining in this video. We have a slightly different setup, as you can tell, and I'm looking forward to reading for you all. It's been a while. So let's have a look at the notebook that I have here. So today we're going to be looking at which battles you've overcome and what will be the next blessings. So which battles have you overcome and what will be the next blessings? I'm also going to be pulling some information out of this book, the Aquarian message, and I'm just going to flick through the book and see what needs to be shared for all of you from this book here, the Aquarian message. Okay, so looking forward to doing that. I'm going to be doing this as a pick a pile, so let's have a look at which cards. Okay, so we're going to be using the Gaia Tarot deck for your piles. All right, I hope you're doing well. Please make sure to check the pick a piles in general, the pick a pile playlist. Please also make sure to press the like button as a free way of sharing your gratitude if you are enjoying these videos. Also make sure to check the February and March predictions as well on Abstract Medicine 888. You're more than welcome also to follow Abstract Medicine on Instagram, abstract_medicine. So we have pile 1 over here. Which one's pile 2? What's pile 2's? Okay, so what they're saying, is this is the main card for all of us here. So the main card is wisdom. So the main card for all of the piles is wisdom. So I'm going to be leaving this card here for all of you. So that is going to be the main message for all of you throughout your battles that you've experienced and the blessings that are coming your way. And as I mentioned, we're going to be pulling out some information from this book as well. So I'll be flicking the book in your pile at the end and having a look and see what message you have for your pile in this book. Okay, so pile 1 is this pile here. Pile 2 is this pile here. Pile 3 is this pile here. And we have wisdom as the main message for all piles. Take your time to meditate over which pile you really resonate with, or you can go to the timestamp below in the description box and in the comment section that is pinned below. And with that being said, we will start with pile 1. Okay. Okay, so pile 1, let's have a look at your cards. So we have the 8 of water. So what have been your battles? Which battles have you overcome, pile 1? It seems like you've overcome battles with regard to your emotions. Maybe you've been someone who was known for your emotions being overcome, potentially. So maybe you were overwhelmed with your emotions before, and now you are less overwhelmed emotionally about things. Just putting my watch there, so I'm making sure that the timer is, I'm not going over time here. And so maybe that's something that you used to experience, that you weren't able to control your emotions, or you let your emotions become the better of you. Potentially, possibly pile 1. Which battles have you overcome? Let me just get more comfortable because I don't feel very comfortable at this time, so 1 second. Okay. Yeah, I do feel like a lot of you pile 1 are known for being very emotional, usually, or maybe in your childhood you were known as very emotional, very dreamy, very imaginative. I mean, all children are really imaginative and dreamy, but I feel like for you, particularly pile 1, you were or you're mainly known as someone who's very in tune with your emotions. You're very feeling people. You're very believing people. Maybe this was something also that you learnt not to be so gullible, I'm hearing, and naive about things. And you're also learning that your intuition is really important, that you trust your intuition, that you don't allow people to walk all over you, that you don't allow people to overstep the mark, I'm hearing with you, because you are also a very emotionally heart-based individual. We have this energy here of like clear green. For me, the green colour in this card is really poking out at me, and the purple as well. People may have taken advantage of your kindness, of your heart, of your emotions, your love, I'm hearing. So for you, pile 1, I'm hearing that your main battle has been kind of almost like, it's almost like you said that your main battle was yourself, but it wasn't. It's actually that you've overcome how to protect yourself and put barriers for yourself so that people can't and shouldn't and are no longer taking advantage of your kindness, of your sweet nature, I'm hearing. Pile 1. I'm also picking up on that you have very healing hands as well, pile 1, and that your psychic abilities are really enhancing at this time. So this is really your blessings, is you're getting a feeling about things more so. So even one of your gifts as well is that you're able to touch an object, touch things, and an object, a watch that doesn't belong to you or that it belongs to someone else, for example, a book or something like a physical object, and you're able to read the energy of that object. You're able to read the history and the story behind that object, which is really interesting. So that's one of your blessings that's coming up for you, pile 1, which is a lovely blessing. And as you can see here, you also have the card of wisdom for each pile. So you're definitely gaining wisdom, and that's your main blessing. Like all of the piles, every single pile is gaining wisdom at this time. So let's see what else you've overcome, pile 1. By using the shadowscapes. No, they want me to use the Phantom Tarot, actually. So let me have a look at the Phantom Tarot. Thank you, Spirit. So we have the 2 of coins. We have the Ace of Swords. Okay. The Star. The 2 of Cups. The Ace of Wands. So what are pile 1's obstacles that they've overcome, that they've battled with? Which battles have they overcome? Well, I just want to say that there's definitely this energy of newness. So you've been able to be less indecisive about saying things. So say, for example, in your past, I'm particularly picking up on your childhood and you being a teenager as well, pile 1, that you were maybe undecided about speaking your truth or really being who you truly are really in essence. And you were undecided about saying what you truly felt or doing what you truly wanted to do. Hang out with a group of people that you really wanted to hang out with, socialize with people, even pursuing a hobby or I just heard pursuit of happiness, even pursuing your joy, pursuing your happiness, living your moment, living your joy. And now you're able to be more resolute, I'm hearing, with your decision making, pile 1. I also feel that pile 1, in your past, you really battled with the need to fit in, and now that's no longer necessary. You now are more in tune with who you are, because you are more connected with your celestial ancestors and your celestial sisters. I'm hearing in particular sisters, with the star card here. Very strong Aquarius energy here as well. I feel like you are a dream. You're making your dreams come true. You are also a dream come true for some people, for some of you, with regard to a love relationship, because we have the Two of Cups here, which I'll get into in one second. But I feel like the main battle has been this feeling of regret, pile one. I feel like there was some regret in your past because maybe you didn't pursue your hobbies in the way that you really wished that you had pursued them, and maybe now you're doing that now. Say for example, it's speaking another language here with the Ace of Swords, speaks about the voice, the throat chakra. I'm also hearing the voice is in the talent contest TV program. So like there could be something with regard to singing as well, or lots of competitive energy here. I am picking up on dancers, I'm picking up on singers here, I'm picking up on talent. I'm hearing talent scout as well here with the star. So I feel like you have a natural gift, a natural talent, pile one, that maybe in your past you weren't able to fully pursue because you were undecided, you weren't sure if, basically it's the energy of strong insecurity. There could have also been a parent here that may have told you, look, you're not going to get enough money, you're not going to make a living out of it. And it was that your parents' fear that you weren't going to do that, and it's got nothing to do with you. It's a projection of their fear onto you, and so that's why you were undecided, you weren't sure about pursuing that hobby or even that gift or whatever that may have been with regard to your natural abilities. But either way, right now I'm actually seeing that you are pursuing your dreams right now, because you've stopped yourself from listening to the naysayers. I'm hearing you're not allowing the naysayers, even in your own mind, to your ego, as it were, to tell you how you should live your life and how you should do things. So good for you, pile one. I really feel like you're pursuing your talents, your gifts, your spiritual I'm hearing your spiritual achievements, because you're spiritually aligned. When you are pursuing your talents, your gifts, your creativity, you become more spiritually in tune and aligned with your purpose on this planet, pile one. So mainly your battles have been overcome with regard to you pursuing your joy, and I do see now that you are. I'm also seeing here that with regard to love and relationships, romantic relationships and even friendships as well, you had pursued you sort of like went for the safe option. So you would have rather have fitted in with a group of people and even gone for the safe option in a romantic relationship. You would have preferred to have settled in a romantic relationship and even in a friendship group that didn't question your different approach to life, your different ideas, your different way of seeing the world. Because I actually see here, pile one, that you're very gifted and you're very different. You're like, we're all unique and we all have unique gifts and talents, but I feel for you, pile one, you have incredible multi-talents. You're multi-gifted. You have the gift of being able to speak, you have a lovely tone to your voice, you have a wonderful singing voice. I'm hearing that some of you are polyglots as well. You're able to speak multiple languages, you pick up languages very well. You're also able to put your hand on anything, and you're able to pick up that talent really quickly. So say for example, you studied dance as a child and you studied ballet, for example. You did contemporary dance, you did modern dance, you did jazz, you did tap dance, you did street dance, you did hip hop. Like, you had many different availabilities within the dance genre, say for example. And I feel that you could put your hand on something and you would just have the Midas touch. You're able to touch anything and turn it into gold. And I feel that there was a bit of jealousy possibly for you as a child or as a teenager, pile one. And I feel that you just didn't want to necessarily compete with others because you didn't want to be ostracized for your gifts, for your like ridiculously amazing gifts that you had, and you just wanted to fit in. I'm hearing, I just wanted to fit in, I just want to fit in, I just want to be liked, I just want to be appreciated, I don't want to stand out. And actually, I think you learned along the way that, you know, this was not the way to live your life. And this was a battle that you had experienced internally, pile 1, is what I'm hearing and what I'm seeing here. So, pile 1, I see that you've overcome this battle of insecurity, and you've overcome this battle, this need to be hidden away and to dim your light, pile 1. And now you are shining bright here with the star card. Now, with the star card, I actually see that pile 1, you are in the spotlight. You are people who are in the public sphere. You have a lot of people that see you and admire you because of your ability to speak your truth, to be in your true essence here with the Ace of Swords. And I also see that you are pursuing your gifts because you have a very unique gift and passion that you share with the world, I'm hearing, that is golden, I'm hearing, pile 1. So I've placed this card here, the Ace of Wands here, because it wants to be here. And I feel that you have incredibly unique insights about your perspective on the world and about your creativity in general that is incredibly unique and very sought after. And pile 1, this is the blessing that is coming through for you, that you are blessing yourself by pursuing your joy, and by standing out from the crowd, because you're actually realizing that by standing out in the crowd, you are content, you are happy, you are also healthy. By hiding your light and dimming your light under a bushel, you become ill, you become sick, you are insecure, you then start to doubt yourself, and you become indecisive as well, undecided about things, and about following your intuition as well, pile 1. With regard to romantic love, I actually see that you have left behind the safe options in your life with regard to romance. I see that actually, because you are shining bright now, your blessings is going to be with regard to a romantic relationship, pile 1, because you're learning through your own wisdom that by going within spiritually, which is going to be for all piles, but you particularly, pile 1, by going in spiritually and realizing your talents are actually things that need to be shared into the world and appreciated and also monetized as well here with the 2 of Pentacles. You also shine bright, and your brightness and your shine and your stellar energy is attracting the right match for you here with the 2 of Cups, which is gorgeous. So we have a true love connection here coming in for you, and your blessings is, I feel, in particular going to be recognition with your talents, but also with regard to romantic relationship. So have a look at the Shadowscapes cards for you, pile 1. Oh, I also want to say we have 2 and 2, so we have 22. So you could be seeing 22, a lot as well. We also have number 8 here with the 8 of water, 8 of Cups, 8 of water. And then here with the 2 of coins, it also looks like a number 8. So we have this infinity energy taking place here, because what you're giving out into the world is blessing you with finances, but also recognition. And also you're going to be attracting, you know, your true love connection. If you haven't experienced that just yet, or if you are experiencing that, then you'll know as confirmation, pile 1, that this is your blessing that's been coming through for you as you've been shining your light and as you've been particularly being your authentic self. Pile 1, it was really important for you to learn this emotional internal battle about not standing out and being different. You know, our differences are actually what makes us really unique as well, pile 1. I do see that you're shining bright. Some of you also were unsure about doing some pole dancing, I'm hearing. I actually feel like you'd be very agile at doing that, and you're very gifted at doing that too. I'm also seeing burlesque as well, burlesque dancing too. I also see that your blessings come through to you at night, so you receive information intuitively or downloads. Your creative inspiration happens at night. Could also happen in the dream space as well. I also see that there are going to be new opportunities with regard to your passions as well. So you're going to be attracting great work partnerships as well in your creative pursuits, in your creative career. I also do see that you could be getting opportunities to speak on a platform, like on stage as well. Being on stage, again, is going to be very important for those of you who are singers, speakers as well. I just heard a speakers channel. So you could be starting up a new venture with regard to a channel, a television show. That's what I'm seeing as a blessing for you, pile 1. But we have 22. 22 is also going to be your number. So when you see 22 or repeating numbers of 2, that's also going to be a sign for you that your blessings are on their way as well. And number 8 as well. Okay, yeah, and we have the 8 again. We have an 8 of Pentacles here. Yeah, so we have another 8 here. So as you work towards your career, as you work towards perfecting your skill sets, because remember, particularly when you're in the creative industries, you must work hard, you must persevere, you must be consistent, pile 1, but you must also be a little bit repetitive and practice, because that is what makes you become the best version of yourself, not in competition with anyone else. I'm seeing Beyonce here as well, so Beyonce could be significant for some of you, pile 1. But I'm seeing someone who works very hard. I'm picking up on Virgo. Beyonce is a Virgo, someone who's very committed to paying attention to small details. So for example, if you're doing choreography and you're learning new moves, you've got to be really precise, not only with the choreographic steps that you take, but also showing your musicality, also your alignment, showing a pointed toe at the right time, showing expression, not having a limp foot. Every single move, every single shape that you make is a photograph. At least that's what I was taught when I was dancing. So every single movement should be captured. But not only should it be something that is, let's say, mathematically done in a very kind of, automatic, robotic way, you've also got to show your own creative inner expression as well, your unique self. So it's all well and good learning the moves, but also having theatricality, having musicality, having alignment, having, photographic images that people can remember. But also really importantly is showing your true essence, showing your true light. And this is what is being expressed as a reminder for you, pile 1. But the more you work at something, the more that you rehearse, the more that you perfect your skill sets, pile 1, the better of an artist you will be, is what I'm hearing. So I am picking up on artists in all forms, not just painting, in dance, in music, in speaking, in theatre, in acting, in TV, in film, in photography, whatever it may be. Okay, as musical players as well. We have the 9 of Cups. You see, we have your wishes are coming true as well. If this hasn't quite broken through for you, if you haven't quite blown up just yet, I am actually seeing, pile 1, that you will be. You're on the brink of it, because we see this mermaid who is swimming upstream and upwards, hardly upstream, with less difficulty now, because you're being your true self, because you are in the right path in your life. So you're no longer swimming upstream and against the water, against the tides. You're actually swimming in the right direction. And so there is a fluidity happening for you, pile 1, where your dreams are on their way. You are living your dream. You are experiencing blessings right now as we speak, at the time of this video, the time of this reading, although all of my videos are timeless. Please do like and subscribe to the channel as well for more information about this video, of course, but also other videos that come through too. But yeah, we have you really on the right path here, which is beautiful. So and I know it sounds almost kind of like an easy reading for you, and I know it hasn't been easy for you, because you've put your own needs aside in order to fit in order to blend in, but you've realized that that battle that you were even experiencing internally that you may not have expressed to others, maybe you're expressing that now, and that's opening up the gateway for other people, but also to pursue their talents. Say, for example, you come to my podcast. I have a podcast called Hype A, and Hype A is about amplifying voices in the arts, for example. You come to my podcast, you speak your truth here with the Ace of Swords, and you know, after that episode comes through and is launched, you start to get opportunities where partnerships want to come through and work with you, and they want to communicate to you. You know, this is clarity coming through after difficult times, and these are blessings that are coming through after you swimming upstream but also against the tide. And I know, as I said, this sounds like an easy reading for you, but I know it hasn't been easy for you, because I have compassion for you. I've experienced it myself. So really expect blessings. Don't say no to them. Don't close the door to blessings and opportunities that are coming your way. Read the fine print, read the fine print. I've got this episode at this time with Chauncey Jackson, who's a music producer on Hype A, episode 6 at this time, season 3. And he says, it's all well and good having creativity and everything and getting booked for, being represented by a music label, but do you have a lawyer? Get yourself a lawyer. So this is about reading the fine print here as well. Again, that Virgo energy here with the Ace of Pentacles. So make sure that you're getting paid as well, what you feel like you are worth, and the worth that is going to be coming for you in the future. So look at the legalities with regard to that. Your present copyright, your present market, and also the future markets that are going to be coming forth for you. Because remember, with the Star card, we also have the energy of the internet and new technologies here with the Aquarius energy. So you've got to look and think about intelligently, which I know that you are intelligent people here, as I can see. You're being intelligent by pursuing your talents, pursuing what you already have innately. So that's intelligence in itself, but also using your logical mind to see the fine details about how, legally speaking, how you can protect yourself in the future, and with digital copyrights as well of your creative, projects or gifts or whatever that may be. So say, for example, as an artist, lots of art painters are doing NFTs, non-fungible tokens. So that's an art work in the digital sphere. So how would you protect yourself in the digital sphere legally? So again, your blessings will also come through when you're thinking smart about your legalities too, pile 1. And 6 of Swords is you moving away from hard times. So as you've moved away from difficult experiences, maybe even moving home, relocating, moving away from low vibrational people, you are now attracting high vibrational people. You are actually attracting stellar people. You're attracting people who are also in the spotlight, pile 1. And this is going to be one of your main blessings as well, pile 1. The 6 of Swords is also, in this card, in the imagery, you're actually a bit more calm now. You're resting as well a little bit. Not resting on your laurels, but you're resting a little bit. I don't quite see that you see what I'm seeing. Pile 1, I don't quite see that you see that there are all these blessings. It's kind of like you have to say to yourself, I'll just see it, I'll believe it when I see it, kind of thing. And we have the Queen of Swords underneath that. So we have this energy of someone who's very intelligent, who's very smart, who's also saying no to low vibrational energies, who's also saying no to things that don't resonate with her, with the Queen energy, with the feminine energy, regardless of gender. But yes, I also would say here that it's important to think smart. It's important to be assertive indeed, but not to close your barrier completely so that no opportunities come your way. Make sure that you are open and receptive. And underneath that, we have the 4 of Wands. So we do have happy times coming and an establishment taking place too. I see some of you have relocated and are moving towards to a new home. I also see a lot of you, your blessings do involve a romantic relationship as well. I see that there could be someone approaching you after a time of you being in separation from someone here with the Queen of Swords who may have blocked someone. And we have a blessing coming for you with regard to your true love connection. I also see a wedding here, maybe even someone expressing their appreciation for you, their love, in whichever love language they have. I see in particular passion, desire, physical appreciation, and also vocal appreciation from you and someone else. This person could have heavy air in their chart, or heavy fire and earth in their chart as well. So Gemini, Aquarius, Libra, as well as Sagittarius, Aries and Leo, and Virgo, Capricorn and Taurus. So I do see a wedding, or at least I see I just heard an emancipation and a strong commitment to each other, pile 1. So that's beautiful. Let's get one more card from the Gaia Tarot. Yeah, so you see underneath that we have emotions here. So what you're realizing is that you're no longer going to be battling with your emotions. The hero there, that's lovely. So you're no longer going to be battling with your emotions, pile 1. You're actually going to be, or you have been, and you will continue to trust your emotions as a blessing in itself, and not as something that you need to be scared of, pile 1. So again, there's this energy of making sure that you continue to follow your intuition, pile 1. With the hero card and the star card, you know what I say about these two cards. I think of David Bowie. He was an Aquarius, and he also has the song Hero. You know, we could be heroes just for one day. So I see that because you are embracing your uniqueness, you actually become a hero to so many, because you have a very possible unique beauty. A lot of you, your blessings are also going to be coming through in your physical appearance. Your physical attraction is going to be attracting a lot of admirers as well, for your creative endeavors, your skill sets as well, pile 1. So you being unique, you being different is going to be your biggest blessing, pile 1, without a doubt. And you now realize, as I said before, that you're being more assertive. You're not allowing other people to step all over you, to walk all over you. And whenever you are feeling a little bit insecure, just make sure to go inwards and follow your intuition, and just trust your gut instinct, because I feel like you recharge your energy at night as well. And at night you also receive downloads and spiritual intuition and connections from your spirit guide, your spirit team. I'm hearing your spirit team, pile 1. And I feel like you recharge your energy alone, to be honest. I don't feel like you get your energy from other people. So whenever you're feeling a little bit doubtful about anything, just go within and just figure out, is this my intuition, or is this someone else's insecurity? Really important to continue to put a boundary around your energy as well. And I also see the blessings around you are also going to be the blessings of a stable, not only a stable romantic relationship, but also with regard to the right tribe, because your vibe is attracting the right tribe towards you. And this group of people is very sacred to you, pile 1. Your home is also very important to you as well. Really, your blessings are also, you're going to be receiving blessings in your home as well. It could be animals coming into your home and pets, pets coming into your home in particular. I also see there's going to be more movement in your home as well. So it's also important to trust your intuition about people that come in and out of your home. Remember that sacred tribe and having a small amount of people is more important than having a large amount of people that don't have that sacred essence that you have and that respect you as well, pile 1. So make sure to pay attention to that. If you'd like to go deeper in your romantic reading section, or with regard to your friendships, or even with regards to your creative endeavors in your career, you can book a reading with me to go deeper with that. You can just book directly on my website, under the page healing, and you go there directly, and there's some options there. Just book one or a few of those, however many you wish to book, and send me a question by email. and then I respond to your email. I respond to the booking. I receive the information that clients book, and I look forward to your question, and then I book your reading. I record your reading for you, like I am here now, and then I send it to you to your inbox immediately. So I no longer record videos live anymore. The only thing that I do live is a shamanic healing booking. Let's have a look at a message from the Aquarian message book by Samael Owen Wur. I'm sorry, I think I butchered that name. I don't know how to pronounce it, but let's have a look. Okay, so the page we have opened up to is the Sephirot. So we have this image here of the alchemical, energetic map, let's say, of your body. So you may want to have a look at that. You can also take a screenshot of that now, and I'm going to read all of this for you, okay? And the chapter is called The Woman and the Dragon. Okay, interesting, we have a dragon mask just here and here. So as you let go of your insecurities, your true dragon, your true spirit comes through. Beautiful. And your light shines, you see that? Gorgeous. Wars of death and dreadful cataclysms will occur in this century. Okay, so I'm reading this page to see if any of the messages that are coming through in this page resonate with you from this reading, okay, or in your life. And you can always go to pile 2 and pile 3 as well, or just listen to all of them, all piles. Okay, so let's start again. Wars of death and dreadful cataclysms will occur in this century. And when the dragon saw that he was cast out into the earth and into the abyss, he persecuted the woman which brought forth the man-child. And to the woman were given 2 wings of a great eagle, that she might fly into the wilderness, into her place, where she is nourished for a time, and times, and a half a time from the face of the serpent. So in these times of the end, the nirvanic women, or women, fly into the wilderness of their own life, far away from the face of the tempting serpent. Many of these women become nuns for a while. The great majority of them are maids within family houses. Thus, this is how they earn their daily bread. Thus, this is how they serve with humbleness. They have the 2 wings of the great eagle of the spirit and fly into the wilderness. Certainly these virgin mothers suffer the unspeakable, since for them life in this world is a wilderness. They complain because of lost time, since they do not find a man who wants to Christify himself in this terrible wilderness. So they remain in their wilderness for a time and times and a half time. That is to say, they remain in their job, their work for a time, the routine of their job and times, movements into their houses or other houses, offices and jobs. And a half time, the hour, the moment, when in the wilderness of their life, the man for whom they were waiting appears. And the serpent cast out of his mouth water as flood after the woman, that he might cause her to be carried away of the flood. And the earth helped the woman, and the earth opened her mouth and swallowed up the flood which the dragon cast out of his mouth. The tempting serpent of Eden tempts these women, who are symbols of the woman clothed within the sun, and try to make them sexually fall, but these virgin mothers transmute their creative energies and fly high with the 2 wings of the spirit. Okay, so, this book is incredibly esoteric. It is a message about the Aquarian message, the Aquarian age, which we have entered into. And I feel that you'll understand this because I feel like you have a very Aquarian, a very unique and futuristic way of seeing the world. Pile 1. So whatever messages have come through for you here, those messages were for you. I also see some of you have moved away from a particular job as well in order to pursue your talents and your gifts. Now my throat chakra is almost closing up here, so you may have had blockages with your throat chakra. and it's important for you to open up your throat chakra at this time. And those are the blessings that are coming in for you, pole 1. So pole 1, that's all I have for you. I hope you've enjoyed these messages. Please let me know how they resonate. Please press the like button below and leave a comment if you wish as well. Thank you so much for letting me read your energies today as well. It's been a really interesting reading, pole 1. Have a look at pole 2 and pole 3 if you fancy. Take care for now, and bye. Bye for now. Pole 2, welcome to your reading. Let's have a look. What are the battles that you've been experiencing, that you've overcome, and what are your blessings that are happening? Which are your blessings that are going to be coming through for you? So pole 2, we have the King of Earth, and we have number 14. Okay, so the King of Earth. So the battles that you've been experiencing may have been of a financial nature. We have the King of Pentacles, which tends to be all about, you know, things grounded in this physical world, finances as well. But to be honest, right off the bat, I'm seeing that you are now really in charge of your finances. You could be working in the stock trade, or you could be investing in stocks as well. You're very good at investing. I'm also seeing that now I'm hearing you're at the top of your game, pole 2. And you could also be attracting a lot of wealth. If that's not something you've experienced just yet, or you have experienced, you are going to be experiencing more financial abundance coming your way. I'm also hearing you're destined for greatness as well, part 2. So pole 2, you could be experiencing that. I feel like pole 2, you've been healing as well. Number 14 in the tarot typically is the Temperance card. So you may have strong Sagittarius in your chart. Doesn't really matter at this point in the reading, but I feel like you could also be investing in travel. You could be traveling because of the money that you've been making, pile 2. But let's have a look first of all what your battles are. Or what were your battles? What were the battles that pile 2 overcame, please, Spirit? Look, the Temperance card came through. Isn't that lovely how the card came through that I mentioned with number 14, the Temperance card? And the Temperance card came through in the Fountain Tarot deck. I love it when that happens. Thank you, Spirit. And we have the Queen of Wands, which is, again, Sagittarius energy, or Leo or Aries energy in particular. Strong Sagittarius indeed. So pile 2. Let's continue with pile 2. There could also have been, so your block may have been the battles that you've overcome is actually not to be overgiving of your time. So maybe you overgave your time. You were also financially very giving to people as well, pile 2. And I'm seeing here that you're understanding that measure for measure is also important. Yes, we have the 10 of coins. So it's not about being a miser. It's not about being frugal. It's not about being tight-pocketed. You're incredibly generous people, pile 2. You're very generous with your time and your finances and feeding people food. And I actually see that some people need to merit that. I'm hearing the word merit, which is important. The word merit could also be a name as well. That could be very significant for some of you. Pile 2. What were the blessings at pile 2? Yeah, so I'm also seeing that pile 2, we have the 9 of Cups here, which I'll show you as well. Okay, it's 9 of Cups. So pile 2, I'm seeing that people took advantage of your generosity, and I feel like you felt a bit like a fool, because you were possibly equating that that attraction. So people that were coming to you, you thought they came to you as, or maybe you were giving financially to people and you thought that that equated an act of love, which it is an act of love, you know, giving to people and giving of your time. But it's also something that you were a bit confused about as well, pile 2. Because maybe people didn't show up in the way that you thought that they would show up. When you gave, did they give back? Did they give back of their time? Did they give back of, say for example, you loaned them money, for example. Did they give back to you? Did they give you back that loan? You know? You could be a father as well, and you could be dealing with children. I mean, I'm not seeing any children here, but you could be very paternal, you could be very nurturing and protective, pile 2. And I'm seeing now that you're thinking with your noggin, I'm hearing, with your mind, with your brain, with your head. So not all people need to merit. I keep hearing the word merit, and I'm seeing merit as a word, as a name, as a surname, as a last name. People need to merit that. And I'm seeing that someone may have mistaken your trust and even your kindness as stupidity, as cowardice, as foolish behaviour as well, or as a foolish act. And yes, you may have felt a little bit like a fool, but you may have also been a little bit concerned about your generosity. But you know, that's just who you are. You can't change who you are. You can only improve who you are. And I feel like maybe that's something that you slightly resented and you wanted to withdraw your energy back. But actually I'm seeing here, pile 2, that you're learning that this was a battle that you had to experience because this was something to do with your past karma that you may have experienced in another lifetime. So pile 2, we have the Queen of Wands, the Temperance card, the 10 of Coins, the 9 of Cups, and the 4 of Wands, okay? So pile 2, you're very good at making money. You're very good now. Your blessings are now about being very savvy with your time. It's not necessarily that you're hesitant. Maybe before in your past you're more hesitant. And so you may have given your energy to people that really didn't deserve it, to be honest. I have to be blunt with you here because I am seeing that. And also you gave your wisdom and you opened the door for people here with the 4 of Wands, your home. The 4 of Wands is the home card. And people may have come in to feast at your table here, to see your beautiful pictures, to see your beautiful artworks hanging in your home, to see what kind of life of abundance you live. Like I am seeing here, pile 2, that you live a very abundant life. And I see that there are jealous people or jealous energies. I feel like this is something you're leaving behind, to be honest. And I feel like this is a battle that you had to experience on a personal level. And I feel like it was a bit of a harsh lesson for you because you had attracted people into your home, into your physical home, you know, your abode, your sacred space, that were just there to ogle at the kind of furniture that you had, the kind of bedroom that you had, the kind of toilet that you had, the kind of pottery and plates and cutlery and whatever it was and pictures that you had, just to ogle at what was inside your home, but they didn't really necessarily see inside your heart. They used you, pile 2. And this is a battle that you've overcome, I would say, recently. And this was a hard lesson to learn because we have the energy of Earth here, which is slow energy. So this is something that you had learnt over time and maybe even after a difficult time. This could have also have been an experience that you may have experienced with a relationship as well, with someone who was very needy, pile 2, someone who was very clingy, someone who was very superficial, someone who lacked substance, I'm hearing. And someone who was possibly very attractive as well, pile 2 here with the Queen of Wands. But I feel that actually they had a soul of darkness, I'm hearing, pile 2. Now, as I look at this card again, I'm actually seeing that there is another individual in your life now, or that you are attracting. So this person could be in your energetic, environment. You may already know about them. You may already know each other. You may frequent each other in the same or similar circles of people, and maybe you haven't actually started a relationship together yet, or maybe some of you know exactly who this is and you are already in a partnership or in a relationship with them. I see that this is going to really go the distance between both of you, particularly here with the 10 of Coins and the 9 of Cups, where there is, and the Temperance card is there's a reciprocation. There's not only a reciprocation of trust, there's also a reciprocation of energies. There isn't an expectation, but there is a reciprocation. It's balance. It's a balanced connection here. A very, very balanced connection, which is beautiful. One of you, they could be, the woman, for example, in your life could be a Sagittarius in particular, or Leo or Aries, and you could be a Virgo, Capricorn, Taurus, Sun. But either way, they have this strongly in the first threes, Sun, Moon or Rising, or in their Venus or Mars. You could have Earth in your Mars, okay, or your Venus, or Sun, Moon or Rising. Okay, and I see that you're going to be starting a future together, or you are already embarking in a future together that is going to be very balanced. They've also made their own money, or they have money, or they have stability somehow. This could also be someone who's like aristocratic, someone who has, blood wealth. So they come from a dynasty or a family that, already have money, or this person has made money through their creative abilities, through their beauty. Like if they were a model, for example, a supermodel, something like that. They made their own finances, they made their own money. I'm also seeing an interior designer as well for some of you, or someone that flips apartments, flips flats, houses, someone who's a realtor, someone who's an estate agent, someone who has their own, I don't think they are an assistant. I feel like they have their own business. They're a boss, and you are too. And you see, the thing is that when you are already boss status, when you are already in an authoritative status where you're in charge of a business, of a role, of a job sector, or that you have your own entrepreneurial projects, and that you run your own gauntlet, let's say, you run your own career, it's not enough to be with someone who's below that. I have to be really frank with you there, because energetically it doesn't quite match, because the other individual will always want to be learning more, and it would be more like a mentor and a mentee. I don't think it works, in my personal opinion. I don't think it works in a romantic relationship. I think it works in a career, in a work relationship, where there is a mentor and a mentee, or whether it's a familial, like a father-son, father-daughter, mother-daughter, mother-son, or uncle-nephew, that kind of thing. But as a romantic relationship, I don't think it quite works, because there's always going to be one individual who's either going to be jealous, or either going to be worried about what the other individual is going to be taking from them. So I feel like this you may have experienced this in another romantic relationship, and that's why it didn't work, because you weren't aligned. So your partnership, same-sex partnerships, your romantic partnership in a heterosexual connection, in a polygamous relationship or relationships, connections, they have to be of boss status, because otherwise it's just not going to work energetically. Because you've already superseded that. You've already overcome that battle of people being jealous of you. You don't frequent, you rub shoulders with the elite. And it's not in a superficial way. It's like leaders hang out with leaders, speak with other leaders. They can give advice, they can give feedback, they can give teaching, they can give mentorship to students that are going to be becoming masters. This is not talking about the ego, and I know that you can feel that from me, pile 2. And if this so far is resonating with you, pile 2, please do press the like button below. Press the button below that's with a thumb up, as an appreciation that you are resonating with this message, pile 2, please. And I see that, you know, there is this partnership here where you're both here with the Queen of Wands and the King of Earth, the King of Pentacles. You're both of a high status here. And that's what is important here. You know, when you vibe high, you can only increase and experience more abundance and more wealth. And I do see here that we have the 10 of Coins and the 9 of Cups, which is saying that there is going to be incredible wealth for the future that is building after or as you are investing in your future right now in the present moment. With the 9 of Cups, we have this energy of your emotional wishes are being granted. Make a wish here with the 9 of Cups as well. You know, what kind of life do you want to live? What kind of future do you want to live? Who do you see in the picture? Who do you see in it? As well, pile 2, over an emotional nature. Because I think financially speaking, you're set. But who's going to be there for you in the next 9-10 years of your life? You know? Don't go back, go forward, I'm hearing. Don't go back, go forwards. And we have the 4 of Wands here where there is celebration. There's a gorgeous collaborative spirit here with the 4 of Wands. There's stability. There are people that are coming together to celebrate something. This could also be a nuptial. This could also be, for some of you, you've been married to the love of your life since the very beginning. And you could be, you know, renewing your vows as well, which is lovely. Pile 2. What's going on with this candle? Well, that was clever, wasn't it? Why did I do that, Spirit? You know, you've put blood, sweat and tears towards your career, towards building a happy and stable future for you, and even a family, or you will be, you know, starting a family, and you will be creating a stable foundation for a family to come through. And remember that with these drops of blood, who's gonna wipe your tears? Who's gonna wipe your sweat from your brow? Who's going to, you know, mend that wound, you know, look after you? Particularly if you're in your older years of your life, you're thinking about, you know, your pension, etc., etc. So it's important to be around people that are healthy and that you can trust. Because money is great for freedom, for travel, for homes, for building a future. In a way, it does provide some level of happiness, but it doesn't provide ultimate happiness. And I feel like that's something you are reviewing at this time, pile 2. We have 3 drops here and 2 drops there, which is 5. You know, you may have experienced 5 losses recently in your family line. Say, for example, they were siblings or brothers or sisters. I see that it may have been really hard for you, pile 2. And so therefore family is also really important. Chosen family is also really important to you. And I feel like your blessings are going to be rewarded, in particular with regard to your chosen family or your family that you're building, pile 2. And this is the wisdom that you're gaining at this time, that who you surround yourself with, who you give your time to, who you give your energy to, who you invite at the table, is your greatest blessing, because those are the people that you truly want to be surrounded with. I am picking up on people that are really thinking about their future and their later years of their life. So from the age of 40 plus, I'm seeing that here. And this is going to be of great importance to you, pile 2. So the obstacles that you've surpassed in your career, I feel like that's been done. Your career is stabilized, is established as well. Yes. Yes. Let me just get 2 more. Beautiful reading, by the way. Yeah. Okay. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. All right. So pile 2. So you may have had, for some of you, pile 2, you may have had a marriage before, and now you are in a new marriage or a new relationship. You may have had a long-term relationship before, and now you're entering a new relationship. We have the Lovers card here. Either way, we've had choices here, haven't we, pile 2? But it's about making the important choice, not the superficial, attractive, conventionally beautiful choice that only is there for your money and your finances and because you live in a, you know, comfortable, stable home. But you're now attracting the right choice, the choice that makes your heart beat, where you have a lot of chemistry together. You're able to speak to each other candidly, that you find trust. Trust is of big importance to you, and I feel like this is the blessing that is coming through for you, pile 2, is a relationship built on trust and attraction. Basically having it all here. Strong Gemini energy here for some of you as well. I feel like you're making the right choice now. And maybe for some of you, you've been working so much that your romantic part of your life, your personal element of your life was kind of put to the side. And so I see that now you're making space for a romantic relationship because financial stability for you is of importance to you for a stable foundation for a romantic relationship to take place or to enter. And I see here that an important relationship is coming into your life here after a time of having given to the devil, to be honest, to have given to a toxic ex with the devil card here and the temperance card. You know, you've learned that giving your time, your energy, your thought, your wisdom, your money, your space, your home, your assets, if you're going through a divorce, as well for some of you, pile 2 was very draining for you. You know, it was incredibly draining. You kind of lost yourself a little bit, and this was the battle that you've overcome, that you've now come into yourself. You now feel more comfortable in yourself. You're now feeling more stable. You're now feeling more attractive. You're now also feeling more open and receptive to joy and abundance coming into your life, to your wishes coming true for a chance for yourself. You're feeling like positively selfish in a good way, not in a way where you're just giving and giving and giving and you're not getting anything back and just feeding from an empty vessel with an empty cup. I also see that you're going to be getting appreciation through loving words as well, or even physical touch. Maybe there's been physical intimacy issues that you've had, pile 2, where you've been feeling inadequate, that you've been feeling physically unable to express yourself to people. You may have been battling this feeling of insecurity about your body, about being good enough, to be honest, in any shape, way, physically, emotionally, spiritually, financially. I feel like you've just been coasting and just been riding a life that, like a ghost, and that you haven't thought or seen that other people have noticed. And people have noticed. Pile 2. I see that now that your blessings are coming through to you with regard to a wonderful, stable relationship. This person is very attractive. This person is also very communicative with how they express their love. They're great lovers as well. And they're very creative. They're very supportive. And I feel like this is the individual that you've always wanted to be with if you are already with them. And I see that you've kicked someone out here recently, where you're no longer giving your energy or time to. Now, energy comes in different ways. Say, for example, you're going through a divorce, you're having to finalize financial issues, and so that's you giving your energy in that way. And I feel like that's going to be coming to a close soon for you, pile 2, and this is the blessing that's coming in for you. The Ten of Coins is, as you close the cycle, the Ten of Coins and the World card, you start a new opportunity, a new beginning here with a wonderful world awaits for you, pile 2, I'm hearing. Something is coming full circle. You're learning something about yourself, pile 2. You're learning your resilience. You're learning how strong you've been in the face of possibly your addictions, your spending habits even. You're learning about yourself that you are good enough, pile 2. This is a very gentle energy in this pile, the very different piles so far. Pile 2, I'm seeing that you're learning to trust yourself more. I'm seeing that you're learning that you are abundant yourself, first and foremost. The things that are around you, that surround you, the home that you live in, the clothes that you wear do not define who you are truly within. And this is something that you're learning, maybe even through therapy with a Temperance card here, through some sort of actual service as well, where you're giving to people, you're giving to a charity or a cause that really means a lot to you. You know, particularly a cause that that may have been very close to your own experiences of possible assaults or you know, battery. You know, this can happen with any gender. It doesn't have to be just women. This is just a very misconstrued misconception in our society. So this could be a charity where you're supporting that in particular, or maybe you're going to Alcoholics Anonymous, or you know, something like that, where you're supporting something very close to your own experiences. I don't want to even say close to my heart, because I don't feel like, it's almost like you're hesitant to speak from your heart space. You're more of a generous, giving person, I'm feeling, and I feel like the blessing is you channeling your gift of giving to a cause that really means a lot to you. So a charity would be a great way of doing it. Giving of your time as well to people who are also starting out in your industry is another way of you being supportive and channeling and transmuting your own personal pains into another individual as well. Not completely wholeheartedly where you lose yourself. I'm not saying that you should be a saint. This is not here. I'm not here. I'm not picking that up here in particular, pile 2, but I'm seeing that you're going to be giving to a cause that means a lot to you. Pile 2, I also see for some of you pregnancy as well in particular. There's also a lot of passion taking place here with the Lovers, the Devil and the World card. So it's inevitable that there's also great fertility taking place here, and the Ten of Coins. And the Page of Pentacles after that is also, you know, children. So if you already had your experience with children, you have children already here with the King of Earth, the Father, you could be surprised that one of your blessings could be another chance at having another child as well, or other children. Twins could even turn up for you, pile 2. The World card is also this lovely energy here where you're learning something from your past that's coming back to teach you something, and it's of a wholesome nature, pile 2. That's what I'm seeing here for you. I'm seeing something that you were scared about, that you were under the illusion of with regard to stability. You're learning again. This message is really hitting home for some of you, that it's not just a cliche. I'm hearing that you are actually finding your own abundance, your wealth within yourself, and this may have been a long time coming. Maybe no one taught you that, and maybe now that you are in a level of maturity in your life, that you're actually understanding that this is something that you had to experience in order to learn and understand that true understanding of yourself, true wealth comes from within and not from an outside source. That's beautiful. Your other blessing is that you're becoming more open emotionally as well. You're becoming more open emotionally with the right people you're sort of picking up on energies of people that you immediately distrust, and so that's also important that you pick up on that and that you continue to follow that intuition, and give to those that really merit it, and even give to those who don't feel like they do merit it. It's that passage from the Bible, and the meek shall inherit the earth. I think that's it. So when you give to those who are humble, to those who are really poor, they will inherit everything, because you giving to them and them not expecting anything, they inherit everything, and they will be the most blessed by spirit. So it's another reciprocated energy. When you give to those people who don't expect anything, they inherit the earth. They become the most blessed children of the earth. And spirit blesses them, which is beautiful. Beautiful energy, lovely energy. I also do see that a blessing for you, something that you've been wanting to do for quite some time, is getting off the ground here. And I see this is a new project or a new endeavor. You could also be receiving a message that's going to be very emotionally fulfilling for you. That's something that you've been like, I'm not sure if I'm going to get this thing. And you receive that letter, you receive that loan or that message or email, or something of great importance is coming through for you. Now, these three cards came out. We have the Emperor, the Strength card, and the Queen of Pentacles. Now, I do see a lot of you with regard to your romantic situation. You have left a person who was just very needy and very superficial. And I see here that with strong Aries energy and Leo energy as well, and the Queen of Pentacles, you're actually meeting your match here. So we have the King of Pentacles and the Queen of Pentacles, the King of Coins and the Queen of Coins. So again, we have the energy of leaders rubbing shoulders with the leaders here. There's also another message that's coming through here from the recent Pick a Pile video that I did, where one of the piles was attracting the right tribe here. Just drinking some water. You know, your vibe attracting the right tribe here. And the Emperor and the Strength card and the Queen of Pentacles is you're leaving behind someone who was just basically a toxic ex, you know, an ex from hell. And the most affirming word, or the most definitive word, is they tried to take everything from you, but they didn't take your integrity away. They didn't take your decency away. They tried to take everything away from you. But now we have this match here, where we have two people that are coming together in order to create a legacy, where there are two banks here, and two banks are better than one. They come together and they create great wealth. I'm seeing a very wealthy power couple here. Pile 2 is what I'm seeing. Strong Leo energy again, strong Leo and Sagittarius energy in this reading. Gemini is significant. Capricorn could also be significant with regards to work, and Aries energy. Okay, so your blessings are, your finances are becoming even more strong. They're becoming strengthened even more so. I also see a wonderful partnership here. The right choice is coming through. You made the right choice recently with regard to your romantic relationships as well, because you're a partnership. It's not just romance and that's it. You're a partnership that comes together where you live a life together. You know, you live a life together where you share your lives together. Yeah. And we have the Emperor here. So strong divine masculine energy here. And we have again the Wheel of Fortune. So we have the energy of fortune coming through, and the wheels are turning in your favor. If you've been blighted, if you've been hurt by love, if you've been, if someone's stolen from you, taken advantage of you, taken money from you, we have the High Priestess as well here, Pisces energy. it's going to be coming back to you twofold. I'm hearing twofold. And you're gaining wisdom in this. Your main wisdom in this is trust. Okay, so let's have a look in the Aquarian message book and see which messages are for you. Okay, so the chapter here is called the New Jerusalem. All right, so the messages that come through in this page are going to be resonating for you, hopefully, in this situation. Okay, so it's a very esoteric book, but let's have a look and see. Okay. All right, before the dawning of the false aurora upon the earth, the ones who survived the hurricane and the tempest were praising the innermost, and the heralds of the aurora appeared unto them. The psychological I does not receive initiations. The human personality does not receive anything. Nonetheless, the I of some initiates become filled with pride when saying, I am a master, I have such initiations. Thus, this is how the I believes itself to be an initiate and keeps reincarnating in order to perfect itself. But the I never even perfects itself. The I only reincarnates in order to satisfy desires, that is all. The experiences of every reincarnation make the I complicated and transforms it into a more perverse I. Evolution is a process of the complication of life. Therefore, we receive these precious stones in the manner that we dissolve the I. The innermost is the one who receives his sacred stones within the superior worlds, as well as rings, chains, ineffable jewels, which are adorned with these sacred stones, etc. Any evil action is enough in order to lose certain sacred stones, that is to say, the loss of degrees. An initiate who was forcing his physically ill wife to perform the sexual act was very close to losing a sapphire from his sword. Fortunately, this initiate knew how to obey when he was warned by the White Lodge. The I is memory, a bunch of memories, the dust of centuries. Therefore, we receive degrees and the most precious stones according to how we dissolve it. When the dragon of wisdom dissolves the I, then the 10 Zephyroth shine as precious stones in his ineffable, glorious body. First, we must decapitate the I with the sword, while in the flaming forge of Vulcan. Afterwards, we have to start slowly dying. The I becomes dissolved based on alchemy and a very rigorous comprehension. This is complete revolution. Okay, so whatever was said here will resonate with you now or will resonate with you in the future. So you may want to save this video or this reading for another time. I also see here that we have a jewel here, and the ego is also in the mind space, but we have this dissolving of the I and the opening up of the jewel of the crown chakra here. And so you lost a jewel in your ego, in your I center, and you gained a jewel by giving, particularly for those who are meek, for they shall inherit the earth here. And we have the King of Earth here. Wonderful leadership. So pile 2, I hope you've enjoyed this reading. I've really enjoyed reading for you. I've loved reading your energies. If you do like it, press the like button. If you would like to go deeper in your romantic situation, if you've got questions about your romantic life, your financial status, your career, your friendships, you can book a reading with me. I have a few options available on my website where you can book a reading with me directly on the healing page. There's a page called Healing, and you just book that reading. You send me a question or questions, and I respond by recording a reading just like this, and I send you the recording straight into your inbox, your email. I no longer do one-to-one live videos anymore. The only one I do is the Shamanic healing, and that's done through Zoom directly. So if I'm going to leave you here, thank you so much. And if you'd like to tip me, there are also tip options as well, or you can do this through PayPal. Just let me know. Thank you so much. God bless. Take care. Bye for now. Pile number 3, welcome to your reading. So let's have a look at your pile. Okay, so pile 3, which battles have you overcome? And which are the blessings, your next blessings that are coming for you as well? We have the 8, 6, 7, 8 of wands here, the 8 of fire. Wow, look at that. Beautiful, beautiful energy. So pile 3, we have 3 here, and then we have the V. V for Victor, I'm hearing. V for victory. Okay. So pile 3, I see that the obstacles that you've been experiencing may have been blockages, people that have told you no, people that have said, you can't do this, you can't do that, you can't pursue a life like that, you can't travel to this location because it's dangerous, because they put the fear of God in you. And I see here that you've been overcoming these fears with travel. You maybe have had phobias, travel phobias as well, pile 3. And I see that you've also been removing the mask of other people's fears that were placed on your head as projections of their insecurities and their worries. And you've ended up putting your own mask of protection, a mask that is able to see the world as it truly is, I'm hearing. You've also been overcoming obstacles with regard to communication here with the 8 of wands, speaking your truth. Maybe people told you that you spoke too fast, spoke too quickly, or you spoke too many languages, or spoke too much. And actually, I'm seeing here that you're overcoming those fears. We have the 7 of Cups coming out, and we have the Page of Cups coming out as well. We have the 10 of Wands as well. Pile 3, 7 of Swords, Knight of Wands. We also have the Wisdom card here for each pile as well. We'll have a look and see what you've gained from this experience as well. Is there one more? We have the Queen of Wands, the 4 of Wands, the 9 of Cups, the 10 of Cups. Interesting, these cards came out in a slightly different order in pile 2, these 4 here. Okay, so pile 3. Okay, for some of you, this is going to be a very clear and specific message. So this message may not necessarily resonate for all of you, okay? So the message I have here is the battle that you're overcoming now, or the battle that you've been experiencing, maybe even recently or even in childhood, is that you may have said something, you may have stolen something, you may have taken something away from someone, okay? And you may have been really worried about this now into adulthood, okay? And this thing that you're worried about has been overwhelming you here with the 10 of Wands. Okay, this could also be something recently, may not necessarily have been in your childhood, in particular pile 3. So this is something you've been really burdened by, okay? You may have been also confused as well with the 7 of Cups. You may have been under the illusion that you could just move on in your life and just be happy-go-lucky, I'm hearing here with the Knight of Wands. Okay, but I'm seeing here that you're desperately actually wanting to share this burden, let go of this burden, and actually extend an apology to somebody here with the Page of Cups. So I feel here that this battle is something you may be experiencing now still. With the Seven of Cups, it's going around in your head over and over and over again. It's coming into your dream space. It's manifesting in your dreams in different capacities, in different ways. You're constantly thinking about it. You're constantly imagining about it. It comes up, it creeps up on you. And it's something that is making you feel a little bit criminal because you've not been able to let it go, and you've not been able to speak your truth on this, to share or extend an apology to somebody, okay? That's what I'm picking up on specifically for someone, okay, in particular. This may not resonate with all of you, by the way, that particular message, but we have pile 1 and pile 2 as well, and we also have other messages that are going to be coming through shortly in this video as well. Pile 3. So pile 3, that could be one battle. And that may be a battle that you overcame recently or in your adulthood here with the Queen of Wands, the Four of Wands, the Nine of Cups, Ten of Cups. So I'm picking up on that the main obstacle, the main battle that you may have overcome is actually another thing is not using people. So maybe you were taught that using people was the best way, was the quickest way, was the craftiest way here with the Seven of Swords to get what you want, to have your desires met, and financially as well. So I see here that the root, there's a few messages here. Some of you have been taught that the highway was not the byway. I don't know what that means, but what I'm sensing is that you were taught, maybe through childhood or something like that, a mother figure in your life, that it's better to be conniving and opportunistic, and taking the short route than taking the highway, to taking the higher route. Okay, because for some of you, you were taught that taking the higher road and the longer road, you didn't have time for. You didn't have time on this planet. There wasn't enough time. There's an energy I'm hearing of time here. We have the Eight of Wands here, which can also talk about impatience as well, for me in this reading. So what you've been learning is the art of patience. You've been learning that you have all the time in the world. Louis Armstrong's song is coming through as well. You have all the time in the world. And for some reason you were taught in childhood, maybe this is because there wasn't enough food on the table, you know, so you look for scraps, you look for ways to, I'm also seeing Slumdog Millionaire, the film. So you may have experienced a life like that, where the only way that you could find stability was actually like doing the lottery, you know, or stealing to have meal on the table, you know, stealing food, you know, or whatever. And I'm seeing here that you're gaining wisdom now in your adult life, or you're gaining wisdom in your current life at this time, and your experiences are telling you that that was the wrong way, that was the wrong teaching. It may have worked for a time, but it's not sustainable, because you're always going to get caught somehow. And you know what? When you grab these swords in your hand like that, you end up getting cut. And the only person that really gets hurt is really you, really, within. So I'm seeing here that this is the lesson that you're experiencing at this time, and this is the wisdom that you're experiencing, that it's better to take the long road than the short route, because the short route is actually just writhing with snakes and serpents, I'm hearing. Now these snakes and serpents and obstacles can be in the personification of people, as friends, as false friends, as enemies, as immature people, as people who also have done the same thing that maybe you did, and maybe you're letting go of that past. You're letting go of cheating. You're letting go of hurting people unnecessarily. You're letting go of taking the short route in something. You're letting go of irresponsibility. And this is something that was a bit of a battle for you, because maybe you grew up with people like that. Maybe you grew up in a neighborhood or an area or a group of people where life was short. We all know of these stories where people get hurt, people get killed, you know, in order to survive the streets in general, pile 3. And I'm not saying that maybe some of you had experienced that, where you saw friends around you who were battling it out against gangs, you know? But maybe you lived in a neighborhood where that didn't happen. But you knew about that. And, you know, your understanding, to be honest with you, I feel like your understanding, your wisdom for you, pile 3, and I just saw 11:11 on the clock, on my camera there, that karma catches up on you, and it hurts you, it hurts the ones you love the most as well. And with 7 and 7, 77 is going to be your number, pile 3, that times up, you know, that times up. 77 could be very significant for you. 1010 is also very significant for you, pile 3 as well, 1010. So I do feel like you've already faced your judgment, pile 3. I also feel that you have experienced a spiritual wake-up call as well, pile 3, that whatever you were doing in your past was no longer sustainable into your adult life. So if it was a life of crime, you end up in prison. You either end up in prison or shot or dead, you know? So I feel like there was kind of some sort of false loyalty to these people that you're associated with, because in the end of the day, these people have deceptive energies and they can actually stab you in the back, you know, literally speaking, physically speaking, metaphorically speaking. And so I feel that for you, pile 3, whatever you learnt in your past about this false brotherhood, false sisterhood, false tribe, false family, because I am seeing grooming here, particularly in times of the life of crime on the streets. I'm seeing grooming, you know, that you may have been groomed by someone who was also just a kid, a teenager. And they said, look, I'll find a way for you to make lots of money, and you get involved in a gang, you know. I'm not here to judge. Trust me, I'm not here to judge you. I'm just seeing the cards as they are. And you may not necessarily, if you read the cards, you may not necessarily read the cards as I am reading them, but I'm seeing that here. And I'm picking up on this. Now remember, I am clairvoyant, claircognizant, clairsentient, and clairaudient. So the messages come to me in many different ways. With the initial message that we're here with the 8 of Wands, when I said that some of you may have been told you don't go and travel there because you could get hurt or because it's dangerous. This could have been, don't go to that neighborhood because this, that. Don't go and travel to this location because this, that. Don't say anything because you have to hold this secret, you know? I feel you're living your best life now, to be honest with you. And I feel like your wings are opening up, and I feel like you're really ready to fly, pile 3, which is a beautiful energy. I'm really picking up on the energy of freedom and emancipation from these difficult experiences that you've experienced, pile 3, with regard to restrictions, because of your loyalty with, you know, low vibrational people, with criminals, with gangsters, with, you know, people that put you in a trap. I'm seeing lots of freedom here, and I'm seeing a lot of travel for you. You're going to far-reaching places, I'm hearing, and you're going to be really happy. Your inner child is going to be so excited for you going to these places. Now, say for example you live in California, okay, and you've never been to the beach. And these are true stories that have happened to many people. They live in California, they've never been to the beach. I see you going to the beach. I see you seeing the ocean for the first time. So I see you traveling, I see you coming out of your comfort zone, pile 3, and these are the blessings that are coming for you. And the wisdom that you gain from this is immense, because you realize that you were living life in a small box, and you were living life like a caged animal. And all of this fire that you had within may have been channeled in the wrong way. And there's something about something that you want to say or apologize to someone or even society, pile 3, that's kind of eating up at you a little bit. If you're resonating with this and you're really true to yourself, pile 3, this is really eating up. And I feel like the best that you can do is to let it go. Okay, like write it down. You could do a drawing about it. You could sing about it, because I see you have creative skills here. You could also speak about it. You could speak anonymously about this here with a mask here, in order to slowly let down your burden with each cup emotionally being released here. Because I see that emotionally you're trapped by this thing, whatever it may be. Now, I don't know what it is specifically, but if you'd like some more guidance with that, you can book a reading with me. Please do press the like button as well in this video if this message or the other messages in this pile in this video is resonating for you. It's a simple act of kindness. It's free of charge. It's all I ask of you, of my time. And I love reading your energies, just generally speaking. So that's what I'm here to do as well. So pile 3, some of you, I have to say, it could even be an innocent thing. Like as a child, you took money from your mum's purse and you never told her about it. So it's time to speak up about it. Or if she's no longer with us physically on this planet, you can talk to her about it in spirit. You can pray. The simple act of prayer just really changes the whole energy of your life. Page of Cups. An act of forgiveness is also important here. And I feel pile 3, the persona that you were before, that you expressed to the world, is no longer someone that you are today. And this may be quite scary to you, because what that means is when you're going through a spiritual awakening and you're not realizing you're going through a spiritual awakening, you're seeing, you're observing, you're looking at the people around you, and you're not resonating. You're no longer vibing with what they're saying or what they're doing. You start to look for new friends. You start to look for new experiences. You start to look for new opportunities to have a better life. And I feel for you, pile 3, that's what's happening, or may have happened to you recently or in the past. And this was an obstacle for you. These people that try to put you in a small box and clip your wings when they themselves don't even have wings. There could be an element of jealousy here, but you now are realizing that you have wings and that you have the ability to fly and to soar. And you're realizing the importance of your own life here, pile 3. Now, with that comes a lot of attraction. Comes a lot of attraction, yeah. Now, for some of you, with the Queen of Wands energy, the 7 of Swords energy, and the Knight of Wands, and the 10 of Pentacles, some of you, and this is no shade here and no judgment, I'm a sister. Some of you may have, without telling anyone, but I see this in the cards, so I know this to be true. If you're resonating with this and I'm picking this up on this, in this energy, in this reading, in this video, it's because I know that you've either thought about it or you've done it yourselves. You slept with people in order to make money. So you've given your body one way or another in order to make money. I would say on a slightly consistent basis. This isn't just a one-time thing. This may have happened a few times, at least 7 times, between 4 and 7 times. And maybe that was the only way that you thought, or that you were taught in your group of people, that you could. I don't see this being necessarily done online. I see this being a physical act, like physically done. Okay. And it's because you are also very attractive people and you thought you could monetize over that. Fine. But I'm seeing here that you may have caught an STD because of it. Here with the 10 of Wands. And I think that that was the awakening that you needed to find an alternative way of making money. Now the candle's just gone out, and I'm going to take that as a sign, as confirmation. Okay, pile 3. All right, so we have the Ace of Wands. Okay, here. In the, this is a Shadowscapes deck, by the way, Shadowscapes. Ace of Wands and the 3 of Pentacles. Okay. So the Ace of Wands, and we have 3 foxes here, and we have the 3 of Pentacles here. Now, Ménage à Trois comes to mind as well, but there's also the energy of okay, right. So for some of you, this could be very hard-hitting for you, for some of you, all right? So just take precautions with what I say. But I am also seeing that some of you may have been ABUSED'd as a child. My goodness me. Someone may have put something in your drink. Doesn't have to be alcoholic. In order to take advantage of you. And this was an older person. This was someone that you may have trusted in your family group, your family line, or people that you lived with. And they brought you in as the 3rd element in that situation. Now, this is something that has really burdened you as well. And this is something that you've been experiencing PTSD, and this is a personal psychological battle that you've been experiencing. Now, the way to get rid of that in the best way that you can, because to be honest, it will always be with you, unfortunately. That experience, that trauma will always be with you. The way that you can handle that is to talk to a therapist. Okay, talk to a qualified therapist about that. And this thing that you may have experienced in childhood, because you're very beautiful, attractive energies, spirits, some people take advantage of that, don't they? Now, we have the story of Pamela Anderson, who had experienced something like that with her nanny. And the nanny just gave her gifts, you know, as a child, and no one suspected anything. She didn't speak to anyone about it. And so this is something you've got to forgive yourself about. It was never your fault. Okay, sweetheart, darlings, pile 3, it was never your fault. It was the fault of the adult, the individual that did this on you. And it's time to let this burden go and let the burden down and forgive yourself for hurting yourself, saying that it was your fault. It was never your fault. Pile 3. So go to a professional therapist about this and talk to them and give, give your burdens about this thing, this emotional thing that's very overwhelming. It's the trauma that you've experienced, pile 3. And so this is the battle that you've overcome, physically, emotionally, but psychologically. You still have a little bit of a way to go about that, which is perfectly normal and it's perfectly natural. And if this is the first time you're hearing this, then I'm glad that I'm here to build that bridge for you between your past, your present, and your future to get help. Because I do see that you are going to be a lot more stable psychologically, emotionally as well here with the 9 of Cups and the 10 of Coins. You're going to be feeling freer, as I said before. We have the 8 of Wands here, and this is the blessing that you're going to be experiencing. You're going to be experiencing freedom. You're going to be experiencing this emancipation within your soul, you know. And And it's just one of those things that it's kind of almost like inexplicable, but spiritually, we know why these things happen. But on this planet, we just can't understand it. And it's nothing that you've done wrong in another lifetime. It was a contract that was made. We all make contracts with God. With God, you know, we have a contract with God, and it's about experiencing the human condition. That's all it's about. It's about experiencing the human condition. And some experiences can be very, very damaging and very hurtful, very painful. We can experience lots of loss. We can experience a lot of trauma. We can experience a lot of heartbreak. But we can also experience, and it's important that I say this, but we can also experience a lot of blessings. We can also experience family and groups of people and friends that we really trust. The 10 of coins for me is family, and it can also be chosen family. So I see that your blessings are going to be a chosen family or group of people that you can really trust here. And these people, these energies, even if they are ghosts and they no longer are around you anymore, you're letting go of deceptive energies. You're letting go of people that have burdened you with their own problems, their own issues, their own perverse ways as well. And you're moving into this beautiful blessings of your wishes coming true. The family that you've always wanted, creating the family that you've always wanted, the home that you've always wanted as well. And I know that these seem like physical things, but actually I feel like you're getting your dream home. So I'm seeing a girl that's playing with a doll's house, and I'm seeing that because of her hard work at work, you know, whatever this may be, you're coming together with a group of people to make a homestead, a lovely home, you know, beautiful. Or maybe there's just 3 of you. Maybe you've got 2 children and there's just you as a single mother or a single parent, and there's just 3 and that's all you need. You know, maybe it's not the perfect, you know, 2.4 children, for example, but it's the perfect home for you that's safe. And I feel like the blessings coming for you is a home that's safe, people that you can trust, family or chosen family that you can trust. And this is the wisdom that you're gaining through hardships, through adversity. You've overcome it all and you're still shining bright. I mean, look at all that orange, beautiful energy. And you're still shining bright here with the Queen of Wands. Your soul is attractive. You're beautiful within and without and outside, you know. And again, we have another confirmation of the 9 of Cups in another deck, the Shadowscapes deck. You're soaring high. I'm hearing flying higher than an eagle, like an eagle. Beautiful. We have the 6 of Swords because you've moved away from deceptive energies. You've moved away from a very emotionally triggering situation. I feel like a lot of you have moved away from trauma, to be honest. And so emotionally, we have double 9 of Cups here, gorgeous. So we have 10-10, you've already passed your own judgment. You've gone through, you've judged yourself harshly even. You know, you've been hurting yourself, you know, and now your blessings are forgiving yourself, acknowledging that you are a beautiful soul, an individual that is able to shine bright and able to have your wishes come true. This is the energy of miracles taking place here. Gorgeous energies after you moving away from deceptive energies here. Let's have a look at the bottom of the deck here. And we have a Chariot, so double travel cards here. So pile 3, I see that you are going to be, things are going to, if anything's been stagnant, it's because you've had to address this issue, or you are addressing this psychological experience which is very painful for you. And this is a battle that you're overcoming. And we have the card of overcoming battles here with the Chariot. You know, we have this individual that's in a chariot. She's a woman, gorgeous, you know, individual, this deity on this chariot, you know, of water, of emotions. Cancer energy, the moon comes through as well. So the things that you've been fearing the most, sometimes you've got to address them psychologically, you know, emotionally speaking, and you overcome them just even by the energetic approach towards being healed. You already start to get healed. I love that. Gorgeous. And that's the wisdom that you're gaining here, is once you put your mind into something, or you energetically think about moving forwards or away from deceptive energies, whatever they may be, you start to get that healing, you start to get the abundance, you start to overcome those pains, those battles. Love it. Yes, and you know, the four of cups is you're no longer missing opportunities in your life. You're grabbing life by the horns here. I love this. Okay, gorgeous. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful messages here. 99 is going to be significant for you. 77 and 1010. Okay, lovely. So let's have a look in the Aquarian message book and see what esoteric messages need to come through for you now or later. Okay, it's a very esoteric book, so bear with me, but let's see what is in your favor here. Okay, so on this page here, we have the 4 angels. So you can take a screenshot of that if you like. I also have to say that with the 4 of Wands here, and the angel wings here, I'm picking up on you have 4 particular angels that are heavily protecting you. And I feel like somehow you see them or you feel them. We have retribution here, and we have number 10, we have the energy of Scorpio and the energy of Mars here too. So I feel like there's divine retribution taking place to those who've hurt you as well. So this page is the one I'm going to be reading, and the chapter is the 4 angels. Okay, so let's get started. Nonetheless, infinite mercy granted us a short space of time in order for us to define ourselves for Christ, or for Yahweh is not Jehovah, to define ourselves for the White Lodge or for the Black Lodge. We all deserve to have been destroyed because of the dreadful and horrible sacrilege. Christ was assassinated and the sanctuary profaned. However, infinite mercy granted to us a short space of more time in order for us to study the doctrine of Christ and to choose the path. Revelation 7, chapters 1 to 17. And after these things which happened in Jerusalem, I saw 4 angels standing on the 4 corners of the earth, the 4 archivists of Karma, the 4 Devarajas, holding the 4 winds of the earth, that the wind should not blow on the earth, nor on the sea, nor any tree. They govern the 4 winds, and they control the 4 corners of the earth with the law. The prophet saw these 4 saints holding the law, holding the 4 winds of the earth, that the wind should not blow on the earth, nor on the sea, nor on any tree. These 4 saints hold the law, that is to say, they hold the punishment that weighs upon the head of this humanity who assassinated Christ. Infinite mercy granted us time in order to study the doctrine of the Lord, and to turn back towards the path of righteousness. And I saw another angel ascending from the east, having the seal of the living God, the seal of Solomon. And he cried with a loud voice to the 4 angels, to whom it was given to hurt the earth and the sea, saying, Hurt not the earth, neither the sea, nor the trees, till we have sealed the servants of our God in their foreheads. The bodhisattva of the angel who has the seal of the living God in his hands is presently reincarnated in the 20th century in a feminine body, and is a marvelous specialist in jinn states. We must not divulge the angel's sacred name. Okay, so there's a lot to unpack there, but you can re-listen to that section over and over again until something comes up for you. I also have to say I saw 3333 on the clock of the camera as well, by the way. And 3333 is the number of Yeshua, Jesus Christ energy. So Jesus Christ is really helping you in the battle that you've overcome, and you are still overcoming. Pile 3. Blessings to you. I really hope you've enjoyed this message. Please do press the like button below as a free exchange of your kindness and of your appreciation for me reading your energies. I really loved reading this pile. I love reading all the piles. You can have a look at pile 1 and pile 2 as well for further messages if you feel called to, or you can listen to any other pick a pile on the pick a pile playlist on Abstract Medicine, or the collective readings. I've got divine love messages as well on Abstract Medicine 888. Or if you wish to go personal and book a reading with me directly, you can do that too on my website under the healing page. Thank you so much. If you like to tip, you can do that too on the healing page. There are tip options for you. You can just go ahead and directly tip me too. Thank you so much. God bless. Shiny light, pile 3. Take care of yourselves. Bye for now.